Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. I do have one quick favor before we get to the video that you came here for, and that is very simply this. You see that little red subscribe button below this video? Go ahead, smash that subscribe button. It really does help me. It really does help this channel grow and my audience grow. So go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. And now, here is the video that you came here for. I'm recording here late Tuesday evening, about 7:30 or so Eastern time, as the Chiefs are playing the Buffalo Bills. And as I watch this game, and as I finish this podcast, and as I get ready to watch the Cowboys and Cardinals later this evening, I think back to something that I have been arguing for years. Every NFL season, every year, we get that opening week Monday night doubleheader. Not going to lie, late game usually sucks. It usually involves the Raiders. It's 2 a.m. They were playing in that baseball field up until this year, but it was always fun. You get the second Monday night game, and I have been arguing for years, why do we not get 2 Monday night games every single week? And now I am officially on that pedestal, and I'm willing to die on this hill, as this is the second time in 3 weeks that because of COVID, we have ended up with 2 Monday night games. Obviously, a couple weeks ago, we had the Patriots playing the Chiefs in KC. We had the Packers hosting the Falcons, and it was great. And so as we get a second time in 3 weeks of back-to-back NFL Monday night games, I'm just going to ask you point blank, why can't we do it every week? And so the reason why, let's get into it, because there's a million reasons why people say it can't happen, and I don't buy any of them, okay? So first of all, the first reason is, well, you got to start with, I think to even fully understand this, I think we need to look at the bigger, broader picture of what the NFL is. The NFL is one of the great revenue-producing machines in the history, I'm not even kidding, of American society. I have never seen anything be better at monetizing everything than the NFL. Think about it. The NFL has figured out a way to monetize breast cancer awareness. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being serious. They sell pink jerseys, pink gloves, pink cleats to raise money for breast cancer awareness. This is a league that has turned the NFL draft into this weird thing that we used to watch on Saturday to a 3-4 night spectacle that was supposed to be in Vegas this past year, that's been in Nashville, that's been all over the country. It is one of the great nights in sports, that first Thursday night of the NFL draft. Oh, by the way, NFL Combine used to be a thing. Guys just showed up, ran around in their underwear, did some bench presses. Now, the NFL Combine's on for like 6 straight days, and we all watch it. And so the NFL, throughout my lifetime, has turned into this great revenue, money-making machine. Yet the one place that they refuse to budge is on the actual most revenue-producing thing that they have, which is their actual games. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is the NFL, for some reason, as we have expanded Major League Baseball playoffs this year, as we traditionally have college football morning, noon, and night on Saturday, Wednesday night college football, Thursday night college football, Friday night college football, the NFL is essentially the only sport that has not given us more of their sport over the last couple years. Now, they did add the Thursday night game, but they still, in what is a truly just mind-boggling thing to me that I do not understand, they still insist on putting like 70% of their games on at the same time, which is at 1 p.m. Eastern every single Sunday. And it's crazy to me that unless you get the dish, unless you're at a bar, unless you want to watch Red Zone all day and miss 90% of what's going on, you can't watch the game that you want to watch. It seems crazy. It seems preposterous. It makes no sense to me. And it goes really kind of counter to, one, everything the NFL is about, which is, again, maximizing their product. And then, two, on top of that, it goes against everything that's going on in our society right now. We live in a split-screen society. I'm guessing right now as you listen to me yell and scream about Monday Night Football, you're texting your friends, you're answering emails from work, you're walking your dog, you're talking to your girlfriend or wife or boyfriend or husband, you're watching a YouTube tutorial on how to fix whatever. Like, this is the world that we live in, yet the NFL has said, nope, you get one game at 1 p.m., and there's 7 that you can't watch, and there's nothing that we're going to do about it. And so I've never understood it, and I've never understood why, I don't know, instead of playing like 10 games at 1 p.m. Eastern, why don't we play 9 and then have an early and late Monday night game? And so when I think about all the reasons that I've heard, none of them make sense. And I think sometimes in life, right, like there are things, and we talk about this on this show all the time, there are things in life that happen that I do not like, but I understand why it happens the way that it happens. I've used this example a million times. I hated it when the NCAA tournament was canceled this past year, okay? But it was the right decision. There was a reason that it happened. It happened because there was a pandemic that nobody understood or could wrap their arms around at that exact moment. By no means am I comparing a pandemic to an extra Monday Night Football game, but the point I'm trying to make is that sometimes in life, even if I don't agree with something, I understand why it's happening. I mentioned it last week. The one-time transfer rule. I don't like it. I understand why it's happening. There are a lot of things in life that I understand why they happen the way they happen, but the 2 Monday Night Football games is something that I don't understand. And I still have yet to hear a good reason as to why it cannot happen, okay? So think about it. What are the reasons that you get told that it can't happen? Well, first of all, it's that, the TV partners would be furious. No, they wouldn't. Are you kidding me? Fox is broadcasting a Tuesday game at 5 p.m. Eastern that I guarantee is obliterating everything that they could possibly show at this time. Sorry, Judge Judy. Sorry, local news. Pretty sure we want to watch Patrick Mahomes against Josh Allen much more than we want to watch Judge Judy just throw the book at somebody for the 100th time today, okay? Like, hate to say it. I know Judge Judy's really popular. She makes like $80 million a year. But I'm telling you, the TV companies wouldn't be upset, especially relative to the fact that 2 things. One, the NFL is their most marketable product. A lot of people say this, but it's true. The NFL is the number 1 rated TV show on 5 different networks: CBS, NBC, Fox, ESPN, NFL Network. Number 1 rated TV show on all 5 networks is the NFL. So you can't tell me it's about ratings, because if you're CBS or Fox, would you rather have 1 less game in that 1 p.m. window and 1 standalone game on Monday? Because I think you would. Now, a lot of people will say, well, it's so unfair to the people on the East Coast. You can't have people staying up all night. It's not fair. And what I would say is, first of all, I get it. I used to live on the East Coast. But I would also say I don't think we have to necessarily play the second game super late. It doesn't have to be a 10 o'clock or 10:30 Eastern time start. Not saying that 2 or 3 times a year it couldn't be, but it's not as though even if we did start it late, that people don't deal with crazy TV schedules all the time, right? I live on the West Coast. Every East Coast basketball game starts at 4 o'clock where I live every single day from November to May. College football starts at 9 a.m. College basketball starts at 9 a.m. The NFL starts at 10 a.m. So it's not as though we don't deal with crazy TV schedules to begin with. But then on top of that, I would just say this. It also doesn't have to be a late night game. Why can't we do what we just did yesterday, Monday, play the Bills and the Chiefs at 5 p.m. Eastern time, 5:30 Eastern time, whatever, 6 o'clock, and then play the second game at 8:30 or 9? We already kicked the late one off. We already kicked the standard Monday night game off at 8:15 Eastern anyway, 8:20 Eastern anyway on the Sunday night football game. So we'll just play this one at 5. We'll play this one at 5:30. Maybe it'll overlap for a half hour. Maybe it'll kick off at 9 instead of 8:30. You're still in bed by 12. Half these games stink. You don't have to stay up till the final whistle every single week. But this idea that it would be so unfair to the East Coast, well, first of all, you know how many basketball games I got to watch at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday? If I got to watch one more damn Duke-Wake Forest game on a Tuesday at 4 o'clock, I'll lose my mind. But I also don't think we have to start the late game late. Keep the schedule as it is. Just play one earlier. Why can't it happen? Again, the alternative is that we get 11 games at 1 p.m. Eastern. Sorry, would rather have 2 on Monday. Last thing, Everyone says, oh, it's so unfair to the fans. What are they going to do? They'll have to call. How are you going to get fans in the stands for a 6 o'clock kickoff? Well, first of all, we get Thursday night football on the West Coast sometimes, and we manage to get people in those stadiums. Manage to get people in Denver and Arizona and San Francisco and L.A. Manage to get fans in the stands for a 5 o'clock Pac-12 kickoff on a Thursday or a Friday. And oh, by the way, it'd be one night a year. It'd be one Monday where you got to leave work and take a half a day. How many people are going to be upset about that? If you're a Steelers season ticket holder and you work in the steel mill or you do construction or you work in an office, you mean to tell me one random Monday in October you can't take off at noon and go to a game? Because it's a 6 o'clock kickoff? Why not? We do it for everything else. So to me, I just don't understand this idea, and I just think it makes the NFL product so much better. And it goes back to what I have said from the beginning. With college football, we get more college football in more time slots in more times all the time. We play Wednesday night games now. We play Thursday night games sometimes that go head-to-head with college, with the NFL. We get Friday night games. A lot of times we get Friday night double headers with BYU playing on the West Coast, the Pac-12 playing on the West Coast, whatever. And then Saturday we get from noon until after midnight with the Hawaii game kicking off at 2 a.m. And so to me, I just don't understand why we have to have 11 games at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday when we can't just flex one of them out onto Monday, get a doubleheader Monday night, have a good time, end the weekend in style with back-to-back Monday night games. And I'll tell you this, I could see a future where this happens because the one thing about this pandemic, I'm not saying it's a good thing. I understand there's a lot of bad, awful things that have happened as part of this pandemic. But what I would also say is that when it comes to this pandemic, it has forced us to move forward and evolve in sports. And a lot of the things that we didn't like are kind of gone anyway. And some of the things that worked ended up staying, right? So like when I look at this pandemic, think about it. We used to have to play 4 preseason NFL games. Now we're probably never going to play a preseason game again. The NFL hates it. The players hate it. The coaches hate it. The owners, I guess, in theory, make money off of it. So maybe we will have preseason games. But there's a possibility we never have a preseason game again because of this pandemic. College football, you start a little bit later. We don't need 6 weeks of fall camp. We don't need kids on, like there are things that are happening all the time. And then there's the reverse, which is stuff that maybe we didn't even know that we wanted, we've gotten, and we're like, this is awesome. Expanded Major League Baseball playoffs was awesome. NBA bubble, we're not going to see it again, but maybe we get some earlier games in the day. That's awesome. It's fun. Everybody likes it. Who knows? Maybe we get some earlier tip-offs in the NBA as opposed to the late tip-offs that we've been traditionally getting. But I could see the scenario where we get 2 Monday night games going forward more often than just once a year. Again, this is a hill that I am willing to die on. I just do not get this idea that Monday night is this sacred time that we can only play an 8:20 kickoff and we can't have a 5:30, 6 o'clock kickoff and maybe move that second game back. I do hope that as time goes on, we realize how awesome this is because this is now the second Monday in 3 Mondays that we've had 2 MNF games. And my guess is with the way these COVID positive tests are coming, it won't be the last time. I'll be curious to see if 2 or 3 years down the road we end up with more Monday night games. And if it happens, you can tell everybody you heard it first on the Aaron Torres.